Stay away from the cameras.
All good? Yep. You guys all good? Yep. Are we good? Good? All you? Thanks.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Erin Collins, and I am a current Westwood Councilwoman. I am honored to welcome United States Congressman Josh Gottheimer this morning to our borough to discuss various legislative items he will be announcing as our 5th Congressional District's representative. Congressman Gottheimer will be discussing tariffs that have been imposed by the current administration, as well as the measures being taken to combat the negative effects nationally. My focus has and continues to be the well-being of all Westwood residents, businesses, and property owners, and I make sure to represent them in real time to our elected officials that represent us on a county, state, and national level. My most pressing concern is the very real impact on each household's budget, mainly groceries, gas, and personal vehicles, and large purchases such as replacing a family car. I have been an accountant for the past 18 years, and it is currently tax season. I am acutely aware of the taxes my personal and business clients pay, and I do my very best to advocate and represent them to the best of my ability. I have a real fear that the impact these tariffs will have will equate to a new tax to New Jersey families and businesses, in addition to the taxes we all are already paying. Without any further delay, I look forward to Congressman Gottheimer's remarks and appreciate him choosing Westwood to speak on this important and pressing topic. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Councilwoman. Before we hear from Raymond, and I'm going to turn for a second, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, if that's okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tanner, you're up.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you, Congressman, and thank you for your pragmatic leadership in Congress and on this issue.
Sorry, I realized I forgot I took my key. Sorry. Sorry about that.
I was just thanking you for your pragmatic leadership.
Thanks. Sorry.
NJBIA, the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, is a 113-year-old association which was founded on manufacturing. So we would absolutely welcome the onshoring of manufacturing back to this country, and especially into our state. However, we don't believe that broad-based tariffs are the best way to accomplish that goal. We have heard from our members repeatedly over the last few months about the potential impact on tariffs. We are a logistics state. We have the largest port on the East Coast, and it may be, it's always going between 1 and 2 in the nation. We have $43 billion worth of exports, supporting 20,000 direct jobs, and 20% of all jobs in New Jersey are somehow related to our trade and logistics. We are concerned that broad-based tariffs in New Jersey could have a negative impact on our economy. We're concerned about our supply chain. As we have all seen through COVID, it's fragile, and broad-based tariffs could definitely interrupt that supply chain. We're concerned about how tariffs may impact inflation. We're concerned about how it's going to impact small business. A lot of the businesses on the state obviously all have products which are part of that logistics and international trade. And we're concerned that this may not be the way to improve our economy and bring back manufacturing, so we look for pragmatic and workable solutions. And we're calling on our policymakers to be strategic in how they apply any type of tariff and any type of policy, and we look for a much more targeted and realistic approach to onshoring manufacturing into New Jersey. And with that, again, Congressman, we thank you for your leadership.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you all. Councilwoman, thank you. Raymond, thank you so much for your leadership at New Jersey Business and Industry Association. Judy, thank you so much from NJMEP, New Jersey Manufacturing Extension Program. Thank you for also what NJMEP does every single day I want to thank Westwood for having us. It's always great to be here. It's a great downtown. People should come here and shop. It's a great place. And I come here often with my family, and I encourage you too. I want to thank law enforcement as well for their leadership and all they do to keep us safe. In just a few days on, oh sure, sorry man. Make sure I take care of you. Got it? Working? Good, okay. In just a few days, on April 3rd, President Trump's proposed sweeping tariffs will go into effect, imposing in effect a huge new tax of at least $2,000 a year on New Jersey families and businesses, including many of the businesses behind me here in Westwood. Just last night, if you listened, the president announced reciprocal tariffs he said he planned to impose on literally every nation, including every ally and trading partner. I want to say that again, including every ally and trading partner, sweeping tariffs across the board. No nation, according to the president, will be left out of reciprocal tariffs. These new tariffs will destroy jobs and set our economy back and hurt our families. At a time we must do everything we can to make life more affordable, because we know the deal right now. Families are struggling with higher costs, whether you're talking about food, childcare, utility bills, rent, property taxes. The bottom line is life's too expensive. We got to do everything we can to get taxes down, let costs down, and make life more affordable for our families. The last thing we need to do, in my opinion, is hurt our families or hurt our small businesses with a new tax, which is exactly what these tariffs will do. They will equate to a new tax on hardworking families at a time when we got to give families relief. These tariffs will include a 25% tariff on all imported cars, light trucks, and auto parts, according to the president. These tariffs could increase new car prices anywhere from $3,500 to more than $12,000. If you live in Jersey, you know how hard it is to go to work or get to our great local businesses without a car. People rely on cars to get to work, to get around, to see family. The idea, in my opinion, that you're going to crush people with a new tax on cars at a time when people are already struggling makes no sense to me. These tariffs will mean it not only costs more to buy a car, but also to repair a car if something breaks. The president has also threatened a 10% tariff on Venezuelan and Canadian oil, which is estimated to raise our gas prices by 20 cents a gallon. The administration has already imposed tariffs on aluminum and steel and other building materials, certain goods from Canada, like lumber and produce, all goods from China. His new tariffs will include a 25% new tariff on our closest trading partners, Canada and Mexico. Canada's already announced reciprocal 25% tariffs of their own on U.S. goods. New Jersey sells more goods to Canada than its next three largest foreign markets combined, totaling $8.4 billion in exports annually, all of which are under threat. Mexico is our largest food supplier, making up nearly 2/3 of U.S. vegetable imports, about half of U.S. fruit and tree nut imports in 2021. Egg prices are already up 53% from where they were a year ago. 85% of fertilizers imported from Canada. So tariffs will cost Jersey families, our small businesses, and our farmers here in New Jersey, all of which billions of dollars across the country, with an expected drop in exports as high as 10%, and the cost of fertilizer going up. My point is, all of these things, and I'm a huge supporter of manufacturing, and we want to keep adding more manufacturing in New Jersey, right? And I think the more we invest, the better. It's why I fought so hard for the CHIPS bill and helped get it done. But the bottom line is, you need a plan and a strategy. And what I worry about is by imposing these across-the-board tariffs on our businesses that are going to affect our businesses and our families and our pocketbooks just across the board, including on our allies and our key trading partners, you're going to see it whack Jersey families hard in their pocketbooks. These tariffs will mark the largest tax hikes on our families in a generation and will include reciprocal tariffs on all nations, as I said. Expected to cost our country, according to economists, 600,000 jobs, including jobs right here in Jersey. And given current projections, investment bank Goldman Sachs now estimates the economy will grow at an annual rate of just 0.6%, down from expected GDP growth of 2.4% at the end of last year. So it's going to cost our growth, our economy, and our families. It will affect the median price, according to experts, of homes by at least $21,000, according to experts. So where I'm confused about all this is I thought this administration, this president wanted to create jobs and make life more affordable for our families. This will do just the opposite. It will raise prices. These tariffs will raise prices. These tariffs will cost us jobs, and it will hurt our small businesses up and down streets like this one. 64% of Americans reportedly agree that they're worried this administration is not doing anything to get prices lower. That's what I'm worried about. It's an insane attack on affordability for our country. The Federal Reserve last week released new data predicting lower growth and higher inflation this year in what Fed Chairman Powell has called, quote, tariff inflation. In fact, one survey said the economy now has a 13% higher chance of recession because of these tariffs that are looming over us right now. And over the weekend, when asked about the impact of auto prices on wallets of hardworking families, the president said, and I quote, he, quote, couldn't care less. Well, I do care. We care. It's why we're here today. Because I care what's going to happen to our families here in Jersey, to their pocketbooks, to their wallets, to our small businesses in towns like this one. None of this makes any sense to me. It only raises costs across the board. And it's just a new tax on Jersey families of at least $2,000 a year, again, if not more. As the former head of NJMEP said of sweeping tariffs during the first Trump administration, he said, quote, workers get laid off, the prices go up, and companies move. That's exactly what happened over the years since then. The craziest part is that President Trump is imposing all these tariffs without congressional approval, without oversight, under the guise of a national emergency. When it comes to tariffs, we need a targeted approach that doesn't put a bullseye on our own economy. And I don't get the strategy. It's one thing to target our adversaries like Iran and China with new tariffs, but it's another to go after our key allies and key trading partners who rely on us for goods and who we rely on for certain things and who don't manufacture certain things here right now. We know they'll have a huge impact on Americans' wallets. And in typical Trump fashion, there's no plan. It's all chaos. And chaos breeds uncertainty and higher prices and fear. So what most presidents have always done is they make the pitch to the American people and to Congress, which is in charge of trade. The Constitution puts Congress in charge of trade, right? But in this case, it's all under the guise of a national emergency. I'd like to really understand how this is going to work, how this is going to affect our families, what the strategy is, how we're going to rebuild our manufacturing base and create more jobs, which I support, and over what time. But in the meantime, what are we going to do for our families who are going to face higher costs? Massive turbulence and uncertainty will wreak havoc on our economy and drive up prices, hurt people's 401ks and savings, and that's unacceptable. So I'm announcing today new action to help ensure tariffs are only deployed in a strategic and responsible way, not targeting the success of our families, not targeting our key allies. First, I'm introducing the Reclaiming Congressional Trade Authority Act to require the president to submit a clear strategy to Congress to justify imposing tariffs for emergency purposes. As I said, Congress has the constitutional responsibility to regulate foreign trade, so the bottom line is the president should go to Congress and lay out his plan to Congress and to the American people and not claim a national emergency by imposing tariffs on our key trading partners that will end up in higher costs for our families. The president wants to impose these sweeping tariffs that will impact millions of Americans. He has to actually have a good justification for doing it. And I'll fight tooth and nail to ensure hardworking families don't pay the price for this reckless action. Second, the president can't use vague threats of national security to endanger the financial security of New Jersey's families. Canada is not our enemy. I'm helping introduce the Prevent Tariff Abuse Act, which clarifies current law to make it explicitly clear that the president can't just impose tariffs under the guise of national security and a national emergency without actually proving that he needs it to Congress. We should be responding to hostile foreign adversaries, not crushing our families and small businesses, and not going after our key allies. I joined 46 of my colleagues in a letter calling on the president to reconsider the 25% tariff on imported building materials. Like that, like steel. Those are imported building materials often, right there, driving by us. So I've joined 46 of my colleagues in a letter calling on President Trump to reconsider the 25% tariff on imported building materials from Canada and Mexico. Because by the way, you know what that means when you impose 25%? It actually means prices of housing go way up. The cost of materials go way up. The cost of wood goes way up, and steel goes way up. That affects the construction of homes and repairs of homes. I joined Representative Rutherford in reintroducing the bipartisan Bicameral Helper Act to help lower the barriers to home ownership for those who devote their lives and careers to service. Our cops, our paramedics, our firefighters, and teachers. These proposed tariffs will do just the opposite and make it harder for those who protect our homes to own one of their own homes. Finally, any proposed tariff must be targeted, not applied broadly, without consideration for the nuances and impact on American jobs, including jobs here in New Jersey and families here in New Jersey. So I'm announcing a new online portal where New Jersey families can go to this new online portal and small businesses can go there and make their voices heard on how these tariffs will hurt them or are already hurting them. I will take these comments and send them to the White House and to the U.S. Trade Representative. And if they're smart, they'll listen to our families here in Jersey and to our small businesses here in Westwood and across our state. This comment portal will be available starting later this week at gottheimer.house.gov/tariffs. Please know that I'll never stop fighting to ensure that our voices are heard in the halls of Congress and in the White House. We need to defend our Jersey values. We need to fight for lower taxes and lower costs. We need to get SALT back and lower taxes here. We need to expand the child tax credit and help our families dealing with higher child care prices. We need an across-the-board energy strategy to get the price of utilities down and the price of electricity down. We need to do everything we can to make life more affordable for our families, not whack them with a new tariff across the board that's going to raise taxes on them with this new tariff tax. A new tariff tax is unacceptable. And I want to make it clear to the president, you don't just crush hardworking families because you decide one day to wake up and do it. From the beginning, and I will remain laser focused on making life more affordable for Jersey families and do everything we can to get costs down. If we have a clear strategy to lower costs and help our families and small businesses, and we work together as a smart way, right? Not just imposing things on a whim, and stand up to extremism and crazy tariffs, I know that here in the greatest country in the world, our best days will always be ahead of us. Thanks so much, and God bless. Thanks.